It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey.
And I've been told all week that Murray wasn't going to be here, and I had this awesome intro that was going to change the world. And as much as I love to have Murray here, I wish I could read it because it's so fantastic, and you would have just loved it.
Just say I'm awesome. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah, Murray's here.
That's right, and I'm awesome.
And he's awesome.
And he's awesome. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Ooh. Well. Thanks to all who have been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please support us and join the growing Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. All members get special episodes and content only for members, and all members who sign up will get a limited edition Film Rage merch item. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. Shout out to Alberta, our largest listening province in Canada, and our largest listening state is now Georgia, because you're always on my mind.
Always on our minds.
Yeah, and Vive la France, still number 3, and though the Brits are pushing hard from behind. Go France.
Well, the Brits do that, right?
It's true. It's very, very true.
All right.
All right.
Movies are back at Canyon Meadows Cinemas. We are open for your viewing pleasure with great new films opening weekly. All health-regulated protocols are in effect for a safe and enjoyable experience. And don't forget, we should be your first choice for your next birthday party or special event. Can't make it to the cinema? We got you covered. Order concessions from our online store, and you can either choose curbside pickup or get them delivered via Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. For more details, go to canyonmeadowscinema.ca. Here at CMC, we would like to thank you for your continued support. And we are looking forward to seeing you at the movies.
All right. Let's dance.
Let's dance. Oh, streaming. We're streaming. And we're just dreaming. And Bryce, we're doing what?
We're streaming.
And Murray was doing some streaming in the hotel.
Streaming.
Over the weekend.
All right. So, we started with a little Netflix action this week. Something I've been looking forward to. Bob Ross, Happy Accidents, Betrayal, and Greed. Mm-hmm. In this doc, we are shown how the world's most famous art instructor came to be, as well as how his simple concept of bringing art to as many people as possible became an empire, which in turn was exploited by his business partners. Through the first half of the doc, we get to know the man behind the on-screen persona. We learn some amusing details, such as the genesis for his on-screen soothing voice, as he was trying to connect with his female audience as if he were in bed with them. And the fact that he was, quite a flirt as well.
He's sexy. He's sexy.
They cover the Joy of Painting series from its early days right through its final season. I got to learn that my reaction was the same as his directors when with little time left in the show, Bob would paint a thick black line down a section of his painting, causing me as a viewer as well as the director to gasp as he seemingly had defaced the beautiful painting he had created.
What?
What is he doing? Why would he ruin the painting like that? We had invested like the last 25 minutes of our time into this, and then about 2 minutes later, he would take this inexcusable tarnishing of his art and actually turn the painting into something better.
Even better.
Giving it more depth and
He would
contrast.
draw a tree.
The film really started getting interesting when we were introduced to the Kowalskis, who ended up becoming business partners with Bob. This is where the betrayal and greed part of the doc take over. We learn of the exploitation of the Bob Ross brand. From there, we find out the ruthlessness of Bob's business partners, the Kowalskis, as they scramble to get control of Bob Ross's empire, as Bob was on his dying bed. Eesh. They found a way to cut Bob's son out of the business, and to this day continue to exploit the good name of Bob Ross. All the lunchboxes and mints and board games and chia pets and t-shirts proceeds go right into the pockets of the Kowalskis. Kind of a depressing ending to the film, and it makes me sad that if I'm to enjoy anything as it relates to Bob Ross, it's probably lining the pockets of the Kowalskis. Sad day indeed.
Tainted.
How can I enjoy Bob Ross without supporting Bob Ross Inc.? I wish someone could tell me. Bob Ross good. Bob Ross Inc. evil. Bob Ross happy accidents, betrayal, and greed. Mondo.
Cool beans. Mur, did you get to see this?
Yeah, I did. Because you guys put it in the list.
All right. And?
I should have watched He's All That.
Uh-oh. Ruh-oh.
Okay, first of all, I don't like art.
Okay.
Here's why. Junior high, I almost failed art class.
Ouch.
I had an A average until I had to take art. How do you almost fail art, you ask?
You have no artistic
I can't
talent?
draw or paint or sculpt.
See,
how.
If you watched Bob Ross, he said he can teach anybody to paint.
This is in 1983, so I don't know if his show is even
Yeah,
around.
it was still around.
I didn't have those channels anyway. Yet I was a yearbook photographer for 2 years, developing and printing my own photos. So I had some talent, just not in the other stuff.
Gotcha.
Actually, when I visited friends in Boston, they took me to the Museum of Fine Arts. Bless their hearts for doing so, but I was bored out of my mind for 3 hours.
Gotcha.
Room after room of paintings. But I digress. This movie was literally watching paint dry. It wasn't terrible. Bob Ross seemed like a nice enough guy. Even though I don't get the whole phenomenon of watching him paint. I just don't get that. I did find the story of his business partners screwing him and his family over quite interesting. Unfortunately, that didn't really end too well for the Ross family. This was watching paint dry meh.
Okay. So nothing. Well, see, now this is what I suggest you
I didn't
actually
hate
do,
it.
Murray.
I didn't
Is
hate
you
it.
should go on YouTube and go and watch some full episodes of Bob Ross.
Yeah,
And then you should learn to paint and then go back and get that A
Yeah, well,
from high school art class.
ship has sailed on that.
I don't know. You're never too old to learn.
I had no interest in learning.
So, first thing of note on this is Steve, Bob Ross's son, could pass as the future doppelganger of Bryce in, say, 30 years. So those of you who are just listening to us and you don't get to see us, come listen in 30 years to
I can
see if
see
he
it.
also sounds like Steve Ross.
No.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Wait, if we had one of those detective things that could actually capture Bryce and then fast forward him 30 years, I'm almost certain it would
What the
be
heck are you
Steve
talking
Ross.
detective things?
No, it's computer.
Yeah, you know those computer
ages
generated
you.
things that age you?
It can age you.
Yeah. I kind of want to now do that now.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we'll work on that for the next week and see if it was true. So second thing, I'm pretty sure anyone who is over 35 years old knows who Bob Ross is. And
I didn't.
If you don't know, imagine Mr. Rogers, but with an afro and teaching you how to paint. I do think a lot of people over the years have enjoyed a bowl of weed as big as Bob's afro while watching a Bob video. The film, however, kind of went in a completely different direction. About halfway through, as Bryce had mentioned, it changed from Bob's life to what I'll call a mystery. I was fully enjoying getting the story of Bob, and then the mystery happens, which seems to be a Netflix-style thing. It throws in a red herring. Granted, they hinted it was going to happen, but when it came up in the movie, I personally felt it lacked the intrigue that it should have. I felt a little out of place in the story it was telling. And I really loved most of this, but the Netflix style convoluted docs that they do caused this to take a turn, in my opinion, for the worse. I kind of wished it gave more insight through this film about our assailants through the film, sprinkling more info as it progressed, but it did not do that. When it finally came to the end, although I was sad for the Ross family, I did not feel this film did a very great justice to them or their family story. I liked a lot of it, because who doesn't like Bob? But this Netflix doc gets a meh.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
Did this documentary destroy your love or joy of Bob Ross and his paintings? Because it kind of, took the cover off of, it's like Mr. Rogers, right? It's like that movie with Tom Hanks tried to portray a darker side to him.
He just got involved with bad people, so
Yeah.
No, I get it, but
it didn't.
It made him a
sully
victim.
anything.
Yeah, I think it made him a victim.
But it's the same way. It's like this thing was, for a lot of people, it's like their 30 minutes of pure bliss.
Yeah.
And then they bring up all this business stuff that basically kind of sours it a little. But that's what I think anyway.
Well, yeah.
That I agree with.
Yeah.
And I may be talking about that later.
Oh, he's
Anyway,
got a rage
that's
brewing.
just what I thought.
I like it when the
No,
rage
it was
is
okay
brewing.
as documentaries go. I didn't know a lot about
Yeah.
the guy, and it's like
I
just don't like painting. That's
I
all.
think it actually made me respect Bob a little bit more, actually, because I like to hear the story. I wish there was more of the story side of him, I guess is what I was saying. I wanted to know the evil that was the people, but I don't know. I didn't feel they did it as well as you did. So anyway,
All right.
it was a Mondo for you. It was a math for me. Well, should we move on?
I would say so.
So we got to see the movie Mosquito State on Shudder.
Boom, boom.
Dum.
Nice. So, August 2007, isolated in his austere penthouse overlooking Central Park, obsessive Wall Street data analyst Richard Boca sees ominous patterns. This is what it's about. But I don't know. I didn't feel the juice that it didn't come across that way in Shudder's viewpoint. Anyway, the whole intro through the credits I thought was creepy as hell. I thought the whole credit intro scene could have lasted another 15 minutes. I would have been in love. The music was infectious and the CGI was fun and interesting. Visuals were super amazing. Loved the slow descent into insectum. But I found the main actor's acting got a little worse as the film progressed, or at least it would come and go at times and not consistent through the film.
I thought he was the highlight of this.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was the whole movie, so, I mean, I don't know. I found at times I didn't buy what he was selling. The beginning really had some real Cronenberg overtones, almost like Philip Jan, I'm not sure if it's pronounced Jan or Jan, Rimza, almost like he was a friend of Baby Cronenberg. As I'm watching, I'm just realizing how much I really enjoy body horror as a horror subgenre. Every time they showed the swarms of bugs breeding in the water, I started squirming. I really liked getting into the character's head. Some of the story felt sloppy as the film continued to open up. The whole interaction with his lady friend, quote unquote, made little sense to me. And only for that reason, I'm giving it a meh. But I really look forward to what the director has in his next film. I think he has a great style, and with a bit more money and maybe some time, I hope he stays with body horror genre, as I feel he has a huge future in that specific horror genre. I liked it a lot, but it got a meh.
All right.
Bryce, are you basking in the glory that was Mosquito State?
I think he's embracing his mosquito side.
He's got his pincher hands up, ready to pounce.
Huh?
Okay. Should I go next?
Pouncing?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right then. Okay, this combined things that I don't like or have any interest in. First of all, mosquitoes. Enough said.
They creeped you out? Is that what you're saying?
I hate mosquitoes.
Who doesn't?
Second, Wall Street and the stock market. Yawn. I don't have any money, so I don't invest in anything. This movie was basically The Fly with mosquitoes instead. It was creepy and not in a good way. Leading actor, creepy. Endless close-up shots of mosquitoes, creepy.
Yep.
Most of the supporting cast, except the love interest, boring. A very low meh, almost a rage.
Ooh, okay.
All right, Mosquito State. Set in August 2007, the impending 2008 financial collapse is foreshadowed by a blood-sucking insect in this social commentary disguised as a horror film. The film is a portrait of dread as a man slips into madness as he can see the impending doom that is on the horizon. This methodical and beautifully shot film takes us into the nightmare that becomes Richard Boca's life, as played by Bo Knapp. Knapp's performance is very good, with his slumped shoulders and his weird cadence fitting that of an outsider. As a successful Wall Street analyst, I get the dynamic between Richard and his boss, as Richard makes him money. The relationship I did not get, as Jim also alluded to, is Richard and Lena, who he met at a corporate party. There is no reason for her to find Richard intriguing, and the story suffers because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed everything in this film except for that.
Yeah, me too.
And just because of that, it's a mess.
All
When
right.
it should have been a Mondo.
I agree.
I don't even know why we needed her. Like, what?
We didn't.
She didn't, yeah.
Other than she was, well,
She was the
what
love.
do you call it? She was the, I don't want to.
Why do they need to put love
Her,
interest?
but basically, she was the attractive person in the movie. She was like the.
She's like the good to his evil,
No,
the yin
she
to
was
his
like-
yang. I don't know.
No, like, and there's no, like, even before the mosquito thing, this guy wasn't the most outgoing person, and he wasn't the most, energetic. I couldn't see what she would see in him anyway.
That's what I wasn't buying either.
Yeah.
It made no. I mean, if he was funny, it would be different. But
Or
he
if she
wasn't.
was like, if there was a whole sex thing that was happening
Yeah.
where she was attracted to him because he was wealthy, but they didn't really imply that either.
No.
So
and like halfway through the movie, she actually sleeps with the guy when he's got all those boils and things on his.
don't you
neck
find
and stuff.
boils sexy, Murray?
No.
Okay, well, I think they're
Anyway.
kind of hot. Why not?
Anyway.
Yeah,
All right.
I 100% agree with literally everything you said, which doesn't happen very often.
No.
Because I speak logic. That's what I do.
No.
Thought you were the teller of truths.
Yeah.
He does that too.
Truths are logical.
Truth
most
is subjective too, but anyway.
Truth is a
Yes,
truth.
not always. It's just,
Some
I'm
people's truths are
subjectifying
different than other
that.
people's.
There's no shades of gray. There's black
Anyway.
and there's white.
I believe that was a triple man, was it not?
I think it was.
Okie dokie.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, then we were lucky enough to go to the cinemas again. What?
So for now, anyway.
Or were we actually lucky?
I know I didn't have time to discuss it with you guys. I had to leave before the credits
Yep.
because I had to work.
Lucky you.
Alrighty. Okay, we went to our local downtown Cineplex, the only place that was actually playing it. They Who Surround Us, which was shot in Alberta.
Sweet.
A Ukrainian farmer living in Alberta, i.e. Vegreville, loses his wife in a tragic accident. Guilt and grief send him into an emotional spiral where mysterious, inexplicable events force him to relive traumatic incidents from his childhood in Ukraine. This movie was certainly Ukrainian.
I didn't see any pierogies or.
I'm sure it was at the,
Cabbage rolls.
what do you call it, the funeral after
Oh,
service
right.
thing, whatever thing after the funeral.
Gotcha.
Not that he actually ate any food, but it was set in Vegreville, home of the world's largest Easter egg.
Cool.
So I've driven by several times because I used to live near there. It's a huge Ukrainian community there. I wouldn't say the largest in Canada, but probably close. I didn't like the main character, mostly because he was such a crappy father. I get that his wife died, but he couldn't even buy food to feed his own kid. He let his kid starve for like 2 days. And then he made him a peanut butter sandwich, knowing that his kid doesn't like peanut butter. He didn't know, but he should know. It's his own child. I also questioned his status as a farmer. Like, this kind of bugged me. It probably shouldn't have, but he went to get feed from the feed store.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah, and we didn't see him do anything with it. Like, the whole movie, you may have seen cows in the field.
Put it in his truck.
Yeah, but he didn't feed his animals with it.
He needed to weigh down the back of his truck because it was sliding around a bit.
Didn't even see his horse
Winter's coming.
Didn't even see the horse till the end of the movie. It's like, he had no idea he had any animals on his farm.
Yeah, I was like, what is he farming?
There's no cows, chickens, pigs, nothing. And what the hell is he feeding?
Maybe that's what he was eating.
They're just shy.
So it's like, yeah, like, is he a farmer or not? Because he went on like a 2-week bender, basically avoided his kid and didn't feed his animals. Anyway. Yeah. So the story was okay. Had a really slow pace. I didn't really feel anything was resolved at the end, other than he finally quit drinking. Film didn't really hold my interest, but it was well done regardless. And of course, props to local Alberta filmmakers for making it.
So that makes it.
That makes it a meh.
Okay.
It's a meh.
Interesting that you were so connected to the character, but that's why you didn't like it. If he was an annoying character, shouldn't you have liked the fact that he was an annoying character?
No, it turned
kind
me
of
off
rubbed
'cause
you
I had
off?
no reason
Okay.
to cheer for him to get
Gotcha.
any better. I just felt sorry for his kid.
Perfect. That was probably the intent.
Maybe.
Bryce, why don't you go?
All right. So yeah, as Murray mentioned, it's a movie about a Ukrainian farmer in Alberta. Bad thing happens to his wife. From there, he kind of flashes back to childhood in the Ukraine, where he lost his mother in 1943 as the German army slaughtered his village.
Mm-hmm.
There are events. These are events tied together in Rome in our Ukrainian father's mind.
Mm-hmm.
We are then treated to 90 minutes of the same thing over and over again. I get it. He misses his wife. We are also treated to 90 minutes of zero chemistry between any of the actors.
Mm-hmm.
Also, 90 minutes of really awful country music.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff even I don't recognize.
What we do get, however, is some very beautiful and striking shots of the Alberta countryside.
True.
This was not enough, however, to recommend this film. There was no character development and not enough story to fill a feature-length film. I'm sure writer-director and lead actor Troy Ruptash had a lot to say with his first feature film, but none of it seemed to be apparent on the screen. They Who Surround Us was a rage.
Well.
No love or surround us.
There was only one thing missing in this movie to make it a perfect film.
Pierogies?
Do you know what that is?
No.
That's right. Just one more memory flashback montage, and then voila, a perfect movie. And by perfect movie, I mean a movie completely full of memory flashback montages.
So there should have been 67 instead of 66?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Then it could have been the perfect flashback memory montage. The movie itself had no hope of being a great film in itself, but just one more memory flashback montage and it would have been the perfect memory montage movie. I cannot say this enough. It's almost like I'm just repeating it over and over.
Yeah, there was a lot of repetition in the movie. I'm seeing the correlation here, Jim.
Well, it did leave me with one burning question in all of his flashbacks.
Yes.
What the hell happened to the baby?
There was a baby?
There was a baby? The beginning of the movie, she's like leaning over
Oh,
the
yeah,
river.
that's
but
right.
She
puts
puts
it in
the
the-
baby in the river like
let
Moses.
me tell you what happened to the baby,
and
Murray.
you never
I will
see the
tell
baby
you.
ever again.
You cannot put a baby in cloth and put it in a river and have it survive more than 3 seconds because it would have sank to the ground because the water would have
So
just
you're
weighed
saying
it down.
it's dead.
It's totally dead.
It was floating.
Yeah, float. Okay, that makes complete sense because
See,
cotton
if
that gets
he had
wet.
gone
I
back
thought it was in
completely-
like a basket.
It
or
wasn't a
something.
basket. Like
I don't know. It
Moses.
didn't look like a basket. She was holding
No, it-
No,
swaddling clothes around
No,
it.
it was in something.
It worked for Moses.
I don't know. I didn't see no basket.
Well, neither did I, but she must have found one by the
Right, and you put so you have a basket, and then you cover it with cloth,
yeah.
and then you put the
No,
cloth
you
covered
don't cover the cloth.
But
you
there
put
was.
the cloth in the basket with
No,
the baby.
but the cloth was outside the basket. It was cloth that went into the water.
To keep away the mosquitoes.
Well, okay, well that makes perfect sense. Well, let me just get back to this.
Anyway,
So-
just like they never answered that question.
No,
It's like
well,
this
there's
guy
a
has
lot of questions,
this guy
Murray.
has-
That was just one.
This guy has like a baby
that
brother or
didn't-
sister. He didn't ever bother to try to find out what happened
Maybe
to
that's
we
part
don't
2.
know that.
This could be a part 2 coming. There's a part 2.
him. Sure, that's
So
part 2.
there was some amazing shots in this film. I mean, you cannot miss shooting in the best locations in the world, our province of Alberta.
That's right.
However, the acting, in my opinion, was weak. The story was a typical PTSD-ridden alcoholic father after his wife dies from My Girl subplot, come to Jesus, and the world is great type film.
Yeah, one of those typical movies.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much everywhere. I found the story painful to watch unfold as everything was predictable and expected. And on top of it, the whole overshadowing come to Jesus moments were very much a guiding light for conversation. In addition, as Bryce had already alluded to, was not great. The only note of suspense was that, yeah, there was no suspense. I'm sorry.
No, not really.
There wasn't.
I found that after about 20 minutes into this film, I was tired of the whole flashback montage. Did I mention there was flashback montages? in
Yeah,
this?
just a few.
That literally happened every 5 minutes, either going back to the lead actor's childhood or his scenes with his wife. This film was beautiful to watch the scenery for a lot of the visuals, but painful to watch for the story. And one of the only things I liked about it was that the CLF was not really annoying. So unfortunately, as much
He
as
wasn't?
I didn't find it was
was
that
all right.
annoying. He was kind of just there. I really
Okay.
enjoyed watching, and I really wanted to love this film being shot in my home province, but it was also a rage for me.
It's too bad.
What else did we see?
We saw Candyman.
Candyman? Candyman?
The remake.
Candyman.
Candyman?
I'm not saying it.
Where is he?
Candyman.
He's going to kill you guys. I'm not going to say it.
I'm not looking in a mirror. We're fine. Although
I'm
I
looking now in a
You're
mirror.
looking-
I
There's a
actually am
reflection-
looking. I am looking at the reflection
There's
in
a
this
reflection
picture.
in your poster,
yeah.
so yeah, you're screwed.
Damn. Candyman is a sort of sequel to the 1992 film of the same name. This time around, we return to the same neighborhood in Chicago, but it is now gentrified. However, the Candyman still has a presence. There's a lot going on in this film with statements about gentrification, commercialism, and exploitation. Art is a central theme as well, and perhaps with all this going on, maybe we lose a bit of the message. This, at its core, is a horror movie, and some of these messages may have been more focused if they could have gone further into the horror aspect of the story, in my opinion. There are some very good kill scenes, however, the best perhaps being the one in the art gallery.
Ooh, yes.
More of that would have been welcome. Overall, when the final credits rolled, all I could think about was how much more I enjoyed the original. For those of you that have not seen the original, give this one a shot, but then go back and watch the 1992 version, as it is far superior in my opinion. 2020 Candyman was meh.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. Now, Murray, you didn't get a chance to see this one, did you?
No, my schedule's pretty full this week.
Well,
Didn't
go
get
watch the
theater.
original first,
Yeah.
and then go and watch this one.
I actually tried to look
That's
it
my
up. It's not
suggestion.
available on any of my streaming services.
I didn't know that's how you spelt your name.
I did.
Bryce has his name tag on, just so I can remember it.
Yeah, he's
Did I
not
call
at-
him Bruce
yeah,
today?
he's not at work.
Have I called him Bruce yet? Because
You might have called him Bruce.
isn't there a movie called They Call Me Bruce?
There is.
There you go. Okay, so this film has a well-done, heavy-handed racism overtones throughout the entire film, along with amazing art direction, artsy, artistry, gore, and slash-tastic fun. In addition, sound and music was awesome. Definitely deepened the whole Candyman universe, and having Tony Todd show up, it was awesome in his cameo. That made it all worthwhile. Thanks to multiple LGBTQ representations. Way to go, Jordan Peele and friends. Thanks for getting the message that we need more diversity in film. The film keeps the original concept of the Candyman, but gives us a very direct message about Black Lives Matter, and even ends the film with a message to find more information about it. So this was cool. I loved a lot about this film. The development of the story, again, was done fairly well, and was truly fun little slasher ghost story. This was very fun, but like most remakes, nothing was brought forward to make me love that it came back from the grave as a sequel / reboot. It was fun, and I think the entire cast did a stellar job on the acting and script. I kind of tired of saying this over and over again, though. Please make new content, and if you're going to bring back a character, make it amazing, not just good. I liked this a whole bunch, but it's just a meh. Maybe a little higher on the meh would have been if they would have stuck to this more of the slasher side of it. I kind of felt a little bit, maybe that's what you were getting at with your commentary. I think there was some really good opportunities to make this more slasher friendly. And I
honestly thought that they could have used more violence in it to actually drive home some of the stuff that they were
and the fear.
Preaching at us, really.
And the fear, right? Like the fear with her going, right? Like with his transfer through everything.
I thought it could have been more poignant if they would have actually upped the violence factor on this.
Well, or even just the suspense wasn't there. It wasn't like I felt. I didn't feel the suspense was built. And then, of course, after seeing it, I had to go home that night and watch the original.
Did you?
Yeah, I actually bought it.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, and it's so
Virginia Madsen's great.
Oh, she's brilliant.
Yeah.
And the end scene in Candyman, the original, is just freaking brilliant. Murray, you have to see the original because you'll love it.
Good.
You will absolutely love it.
I don't know. Horror movies aren't really my thing for the most part.
Well, that one you will.
And we'll see. I tried to find it, actually. It wasn't on either one of the streaming services that I had.
Raggy.
I don't know where you can find it. Maybe Amazon, but I definitely couldn't find it on Netflix.
Maybe go look for it in one of your dollar bins.
Even Tubi, I couldn't find it. So obviously it's not on anywhere, but it could be on TV one of these days.
Candyman.
Anyway, just a man.
Candyman.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
The rage is slow building this week, everybody.
I think Bryce is going to fall asleep.
Bryce has his rage eyes on. Isn't it like Mrs. Potato Head? These are my angry eyes.
Are we talking about the multi-talented Amy Adams?
Yes, exactly. No, Mrs. Potato Head. No, not Mark Ruffalo's wife. I'm talking about
the
Mrs. Potato Head from Toy Story. These are my angry eyes.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's right.
Gotcha.
So this week, my rage is, can we please get some really good movies out? I know we've kind of touched around this subject a little bit, but the movie qualities that we're seeing in the theater are making me want to stay at home and watch movies that are coming on streaming services.
Makes me want to watch TV.
It's not inspiring me to want to go back to the theaters. I would have thought, they've kept pushing back all these good movies that we've been waiting to see since last year. And I think it's just because they need to make more money because they need to pay for themselves. But I don't know, maybe they should have hold back some of the stuff we've been seeing. Like, there hasn't been a lot of Mondos we've been handing out in the cinemas.
Well, it's also subjective too. I mean, a lot of people loved Fast and the Furious. A lot of people loved a lot of those movies that you guys hated. It's just subjective, I guess. I mean, yeah, the mass public probably loves them. Just the discerning film viewer probably doesn't. So.
I think most people I talk to still think that Fast and the Furious is a joke. It's become a drinking. It's becoming a drinking movie.
And there's now a TV show it's based on with one of the actors.
Great. That's exactly what we need. Anyway, my rage this week is please start releasing some good content. I don't even know what we're seeing this week, but I'm sure
this week we got a good one.
The 10 Rings.
Please tell me.
Not 10 Rings. That's not what I'm talking about.
I don't know what the other
Okay,
ones
let's
are.
have it. What is it?
Mogul Mowgli's. Riz Ahmed.
Oh.
Riz Ahmed has come to save us all.
Thank you, Riz.
Pretty sure I've seen that already.
Well, you screened it at a...
I'm pretty sure I did. Is he either a DJ or else
Yep.
he goes, yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, cool. Well, don't tell us anything, Murray.
How awesome is it?
Well, don't ask him. No, I don't want to know. Murray, don't tell us anything.
I want to know.
I'll have to watch it now.
He made a face, so.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean we're not going to
No,
like
I
it.
screened it like last year. Didn't get picked though. So I
Okay,
guess
for some of the
releasing it.
festivals. So for people listening, Murray volunteers on a lot of film festivals, screening for film festivals, as do I. So if he may have seen it.
I screened it last year, last
well,
summer.
now it's coming out for Real, not for Play.
All right then.
Cool.
Okay, so that was your rage.
That was my rage. Just put out more movies, better movies, and I'm putting all my money on Riz to save us all.
Can only hope.
Riz will save us all. My rage this week is Bob Ross Inc. It seems that I am unable to enjoy anything from Bob Ross, anything he has ever done in the past without supporting the Kowalskis. I would really rather not line the pockets of these people. And I guess because of it, I will be unable to appreciate any more Bob Ross.
I have a question then.
That makes me rage.
That kind of makes me rage too, because as much as I really want to I'm missing a centerpiece at my house for a plant, and after seeing the Bob Ross and getting reacquainted, I wanted to get a Bob Ross chia pet, but now there's no way in hell I'm going to give them my money.
Exactly, and it sucks.
So okay, here's a question: if the ethics of the people that fucked over our friend Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Do we feel it's then okay for us to then pirate stuff? Like either so if I get your talented girlfriend to make us a Bob Ross chia pet with her skills and talents that she has, then it's okay.
A knockoff Bob Ross.
A knockoff. So I'm putting the call out to Kim. If you can make us some Bob Ross material, we will wear it everywhere. We are no longer supporting Bob Ross Inc.
Yep.
We're
Bob
supporting
Ross
just
Inc.
Bob Ross's son, Steve.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, we can't even support him.
No.
I guess we could make some stuff and then send Steve like $5.
Send him
Yeah,
$5.
exactly.
Steve,
Send it
we
to Steve.
pirated some stuff. We got some of the joy of painting illegally off the internet.
And here's your cut.
Here's a few bucks.
But we're going to have to open another company. We won't tell people what it is because it's not going to be Film Rage Podcast because we don't want to be sued by Bob Ross Inc.
Well, yeah, the Kowalskis will have our asses.
Yeah,
so.
they'll serve us up like
They're
yesterday's
gonna be dead
chia
eventually
pet.
anyway.
I
They're
tell ya.
old.
Yeah, but they probably have kids to pass down.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a
Yeah, but
self-perpetuating.
like most people, their kids are probably stupid. So
Yeah, well, I don't know. Are they inbred?
Or
Were they
incompetent
brother and
anyway.
sister too?
No.
anyway,
Well, anyway,
Anyways,
people.
that's really just depressing.
Yeah, it
I
is.
would love to just fill my boots with Bob Ross everything, but I can't because
Nope.
it all goes to the Kowalskis.
So even if we had like a
Boycott.
Bob Ross poster in the Film Rage Studios, that money would go unless
go to the Kowalskis.
Kim made a new one for us.
Exactly.
because they own his image now.
They own everything.
That's sad.
It's so sad.
And because
is.
even they went to court and everything.
Yeah, and they lost.
And they,
yeah,
son,
yeah, because apparently
his own son lost, even
well, no,
though
because
it
his
was
own
stated in the contract.
yeah, because his own brother freaking signed over the company to these people. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yikes.
Anyway,
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
What's up, everyone? It's me, Mr. Button, all the way up to the top, Montego from Fans on Patrol. And if you want to hear some nerd stuff, man, some nerd movies and some nerd contents and some games, listen to me and my co-host Tiffobot as we clash like the Titans on every show, man. But when we're not clashing amongst ourselves, we're always listening to the Film Rage show, man. We love these cats that just go hard in the paint. So tune in and listen to Bryce and Jim do their thing. It's Fans on Patrol time.
I love Fans on Patrol. And Murray, I know they kind of threw you a little bit under the bus, but let's face it, you're kind of just back in the game, buddy.
Yeah, well.
We've been listening to Fans on Patrol for a long time. These guys, I would say they're kind of like our, I wouldn't say sister podcast, but they do not similar to us, but they got a lot of good content because they mix it up. It's not all about one movie. They talk about a lot of nerd stuff. And it's always funny. We'll be reviewing a movie and they'll reviewing the same movie. So, check them out, guys. Yeah. Fans on Patrol.
I actually didn't have anything planned because I kind of had the week from hell.
Just remember the minute's going.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. This is a 30-seconder.
Okay.
I just recently saw a documentary on John Ritter. Yes, it was on TV, but, everyone knows him from his, very successful shows on television. But he actually was quite an accomplished actor as well. After, his Three's Company ended, he tried to figure something else to do. And he did a lot of, serious dramas. He played some war veterans. And I guess his biggest role was he was actually in Sling Blade with Billy Bob.
Yep. And
they met actually on his failed sitcom in between his other two. And they became fast friends. And it's like, people know him as this, comedy, Buster Keaton type guy from Three's Company, but he actually had some pretty good roles, so you should check it out.
He was also in Bad Santa.
There you go.
Yes, he was.
Also
role.
Billy Bob. There you go.
There's a lot of Billy Bob action happening for buddies. John Ritter.
Anyway, that's all I got.
It's a sweet little memory is it his birthday or something?
No, they did a documentary because, he died, but it was an ABC thing.
ABC. He actually died September 17th, he was born September 17th, and he died September 11th.
There you go. 2000 and something.
2003.
He actually died on set of his sitcom.
That's sad.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, the list, I don't think we got a lot going on the list this week, but we are going to be planning, and it's going to take some time because it takes time to plan these things. We're going to focus, maybe as we get into September, we'll focus on a Mesmerize off every week. I'm just throwing that out there. Murray's going to do some research on our Mesmerize list.
I actually have the first one.
All right. Well, give it to us.
All right. Today we've got Russell Crowe versus, I'm going to screw this up, Dijam Hansu.
Were they in a movie together?
They were in Gladiator together.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He was his buddy for the whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, they were in the movie together. There's literally 3 pages of names here, and that's just the 2 that popped out at me.
This means I have to watch Gladiator
again. Yes.
I thought after the first time I would never have to watch that.
You don't remember it, I guess
so. But I already know who's more mesmerizing in that. I could tell you right now. I've actually, it's so already ingrained in my head.
I have a feeling we're going to disagree on this one. This list is never getting any smaller, by the way, folks.
Never. I can already tell you that it's not going to be Russell Crowe for me. But I guess I got to watch it.
But wait, and is Joaquin Phoenix on our Mesmerized list, Murray?
I didn't see him.
Okay. Well, isn't he on our list?
I don't know. Want to add more names? Thought he was
do we want to add him too? Because it could be a 3-way.
Isn't he on your Undoubted already?
I don't remember. You looked at our list and you didn't look at the.
I printed off the Mesmerized list.
Well, that's a long list.
And it was 3 pages long.
I know, that's why we're trying to narrow it down.
I'm trying.
Yeah, well, hey, buddy.
I had some stuff happen this week.
Yeah, that's right. He lost all the electricity in his house.
I had no power in my home.
Yeah, that's not
for
good.
3 days. So yeah, super awesome.
That is not good. Well,
is that all we have for this?
We will definitely. Yeah, that is it. Well. We're planning. We have to plan, Murray. We have to plan these things.
I assumed you guys had seen it and that you'd remember it.
Okay, so let's first talk about Joaquin Phoenix. Should he or should he not be mesmerizing? I say yes.
Well, I personally, apart from a couple of movies, don't like him.
Yes, but is he mesmerizing, Murray?
Depends what he's doing.
He's always mesmerizing.
Yeah, I think he is. Because that's going to make a 3-way if we have to watch Gladiator.
So you want to make it a 3-way and give him the role, knock 2 people off?
Well, if we
no.
all come to the same
it-
opinion,
The only way that anybody gets knocked off is if we all agree.
Like I said, this list is never getting smaller, folks.
it'll get
Guaranteed.
smaller. I have a
No,
feeling
it
someone's
won't.
going to go.
It won't.
If we get to a two-some instead of a threesome,
It seems like I don't even have to watch because I already know you two are going to disagree. So,
No, I guarantee I'm going to disagree with the two of you.
well, that's what I'm saying. But what's the point of me even watching? 'Cause this-
well, it's kind of like you're being dared
You,
to see this.
but there's no point.
Should we put Gladiator in your dare bag?
Now, if you want me to watch Gladiator with Brian Dennehy and Cuba Gooding Jr., I'm on board with that. That is the far superior Gladiator movie. It's one of the finest underground boxing movies that you'll ever watch. Top of the head, hardest part of the body.
It
When
is.
Brian Dennehy says that, oh, so good.
When Brian Dennehy says anything,
Oh, so
he's
good.
brilliant.
So, for you out there, Gladiator starring Russell Crowe, poopy. Gladiator starring Brian Dennehy, mondo.
It is pretty good. I don't think Gladiator's that poopy, and
I don't think it is either.
Poopy.
because there's some pretty good actors in it.
Poopy.
Some good action.
They're
scenes, too.
mesmerizing people
It's
in it. Beep boo, beep boo, beep boo. Okay,
now
so Joaquin
Gladiator
Phoenix is
with Brian Dennehy and Cuba Gooding Jr. is awesome.
all right. So we're putting on Joaquin Phoenix on the mesmerized list.
So you're going to make
And
it
then
a
he-
triple?
It
Yeah.
is. It's going to be a triple.
So,
And
okay, so once again, I have to watch this.
yes,
Oh, for crying out
because you got to make sure your memory
Can
is
I-
right.
Okay, I'm pretty.
I'm pretty sure I know who I think is too.
What if I accidentally watch the other Gladiator?
You
with
can
Brian
also watch
Dennehy?
that. Why
Well,
don't
no,
you?
I don't want to watch them both.
Well, you have to
I just
watch
wanna
the one with Joaquin Phoenix.
No, I want the one with Cuba Gooding
Well,
Jr.
you can't choose that one, unless we put Cuba Gooding Jr. Well, I don't think
No,
Cuba
he
Gooding
can't
Jr.
be.
is-
He
He's
cannot
not
be on it.
mesmerized.
Having said that, this particular movie, he's not annoying, which is
Which is
all
saying
that- this is
something.
all that
Unlike
you can,
the rest
Which
of his
is
all
saying
movies.
you can,
something.
all you can ask from Cuba Gooding Jr.
To be not
Just
annoying in a movie.
don't be annoying.
It's not like you were making you watch Snow Dogs.
I think maybe I'd rather watch Snow Dogs than Gladiator.
Well, folks, we're gonna watch only one, and it's gonna be not the Brian Dennehy
The Ridley Scott
Gladiator. We will be watching the three mesmerizing. Good choice, Murray, because we get a double whammy with this one. Not only are we gonna try and get someone
What
off the
if I was
mesmerized
to
list.
find a movie with those three in it that wasn't Gladiator?
Okay.
Can I watch
Go
that
ahead and
instead?
try.
But then we all have to watch it, so you've got till the end of tonight to let us know. Know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okie dokie. Last week on Rage or Dare, Jim and Bryce pulled from my bag of rage-filled goodies with the 2000 remake of the TV show Miami Vice. That was with Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx. This week, hopefully, they recover from the last trip to Jim's rage bag, and Bryce will get to choose Rage or Dare. Check first with Bryce to see how he fared with the great Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell. Classic.
Miami Vice.
I can hear the music already.
Yeah, you don't get the original Miami Vice music. Miami Vice from 2006, directed by Michael Mann and starring Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx, was so much better than I remembered it. I remember when I first watched it, I did not like it. Now, upon rewatching, I can say it was pretty good. It was definitely a reimagining of sorts with the TV series, and thank goodness for that, because I hated the TV series. Both the writers and lead actors put their own spin on the characters, taking the gloss of the original and making it more gritty. It was very watchable. It was a very, very watchable police drama without the over-the-top theatrics of a typical action flick. I enjoyed it a lot. Miami Vice was meh.
Okay, sure, whatever you say. First off, what was this movie? Was it softcore porn?
No.
Was it a detective story?
Yeah, a little
Was
bit.
it a drug story? Was it
Yes.
an action movie?
Yes.
TV show was all of that.
I had no clue what was happening in this entire movie. Not sure what the sex scenes with Jamie Foxx or Colin Farrell were all about. I mean,
Together?
I love
They
pointless sex
didn't need to be
scenes
there.
as much as the next guy, but what? And what the fuck is with the awful music? I was so bored through this whole movie. Lots of getting in and out of cars and driving to places. I imagine the real police work that happens every day is as boring as this movie. Was this a love story? I don't know. Was it the softcore porn film that we thought it was going to be? Maybe.
No.
Was it a gangster film? I don't think so.
No.
Was there any action? Not really. I was like halfway through it,
appreciated that.
and I have no fucking clue what I was even watching. Plus, lots of shower scenes where they show the cast getting clean and then having sex and then getting all dirty again. You know what I'm saying? Dirty
Were there
from
that many
sex.
shower scenes?
So I'm thinking to myself,
I remember 2.
and then it becomes a vicious circle. Take a shower, then have sex.
No.
Then because you got stink
There's
dick,
2.
you take a shower again, which
Well,
causes
yeah.
you to have sex. And then so on, and then so on, and then so on. The only good thing in this movie was they used Bryce's favorite line that he uses every episode. And when they said it, Bryce, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Right? What did it mean? I don't know.
Is that where he got
I
it
don't
from?
know, Bryce.
That's not where I got it from.
What is this movie had to do with the price of tea in China?
Nothing.
It was not
That's
a good
the
movie.
point.
I have no clue what you liked about any of this.
I liked it.
And there was more. There was definitely more. They had to show both Jamie Foxx in the sex shower, and then they had to show Colin Farrell in the sex shower, and then Jamie Foxx went back in for the sex shower, and I was waiting for the entire movie for Colin Farrell's turn to have another sex shower, but it didn't happen. I think
Was there 3 sex showers?
there was
just
three.
stayed
There
dirty.
was 3.
I
They were
remember
dirty
3.
and then they were clean, and then
think
they were.
there's 2.
That was the most exciting thing of the movie. Was the fact that I wasn't sure whether or not Carol. I was waiting. I thought maybe the end credits. I even watched the end credits to the very end of the movie
See if he was
to
in a
find
shower.
out if Colin Farrell was going to get back into the shower with his girlfriend and have sex again. But it didn't happen.
Yeah, it was.
It didn't happen, Bryce. It
mo-
didn't happen.
The movie was good. I liked it.
No, it was awful. It was boring. There's
I thought-
nothing really happened.
I
You know why I
know.
think you liked it? So first off,
there was no
people
action?
need to people have to realize that Bryce does not like action
No,
movies.
he does not.
And
I
so,
like action
if you're
movies.
watching
No,
a
you
movie
do
that's
not.
supposed
No,
to be,
I
there
like
were
it.
scenes.
I like action movies when
That are
there's-
good.
that
That's
is-
true.
When there's not too much action in them.
What are you talking about?
I mean,
you
action
loved,
light.
You loved
Yeah.
Nobody. It was a great movie, and there was lots of action in it.
That's true. There's exceptions to
So,
everything.
so Marie, they had scenes in this movie. Have you actually seen this movie?
No.
Okay,
I watched
so
the TV
there is
show.
there is scenes in this movie
Oh,
where
TV
they show a
show's so
boat
bad.
going across from Cuba to Miami.
Miami, yeah.
Probably the entire time. Like it was like, how long does it take to get from Cuba to Miami? It was probably
didn't-
25 minutes, and that's
that
how
scene
long.
wasn't in real time.
It seemed like
Well-
it was real time. They were always driving to some place or getting in and out of cars or driving a boat and then going nowhere.
They were talking
and then,
to each
other
and
while
between
doing it.
between going in boats and going in cars and having sex in showers, I was like, okay, so where's the plot and what's happening?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No, it's terrible.
No actual crime fighting.
So Murray, you really did your job on me this week. That movie was awful.
And you failed miserably with me.
Oh well, it would not.
Apparently-
it would not be the first time you and I have completely opposite opinions.
That
on
is
movies.
true. I think what we do know, though, is even though we're going to be watching Gladiator this week, we still
Oh,
have
the
to
one
get
with Brian
that.
Dennehy?
No, not that one. We have to get that one into his dare bag, so he has to watch it a
A
second
third time. Sure, I'll plan that. 'Cause I actually own that movie.
All right. Now, Bryce, you get to rage or dare.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yep. One is from me, and one is from the dare bag.
I know it's going to be brutal from you, but
Oh!
that's what it's about.
Oh, he's going for juice, baby. And I think Gladiator's in here.
I mean, if I want to watch a really good movie, I'll pluck from the dare bag, but if I
Take
want
the little
some-
ones. The little ones are juicier.
Are they juicier? Oh, those are the newer ones?
The new and improved.
All right, here we go. I got one.
All right, people. Bryce, in addition to watching Gladiator this week, Bryce will also be watching.
Not even the original, Jim.
What?
No, it's not the original. Bryce will.
And there was a remake of that?
Bryce will be watching the remake
Endless Love.
of Endless Love.
The remake of Endless Love. Not the original, which would have been bad enough, but the 2014 remake of Endless Love. Okay, the gloves have come off.
All right.
I can't.
So we've got Gabriella Wilde.
Touche, Jim. Touche.
Alex Pettifer. Hey, Bruce Greenwood. I like him. Robert Patrick. Jolie Richardson.
Oh, dear Lord.
Sounds enchanting.
It's-
Oh my god. I can't wait for next week.
Endless Love.
Oh.
Wow. All right, usually I say looking forward to it, but I'm not sure I do this time.
No, you're not.
Oh, for crying in a bucket. All right.
All right.
And what's that have to do with the price of tea in
That's
China?
right.
Nothing.
Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Some super rage love to our members, Julene from It Goes Down in the PM podcast, James and Philip. And I'll see you later tonight, Philip, for their continued financial support. Thanks to our extended film rage crew of Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision photography via Leonard Conlon Photography, for Bex Goose for her tuning skills at Potato Lady, podcastreviews.com, to Tony from FlixX Rated, and we're going to see Tony pretty soon here coming up, for his graphic design for our verbal masturbation art, which I'm wearing tonight. From Nat from Crime Time Nerds for our walking around art. And lastly, thanks to our sponsor, Canyon Meadows Cinema. Please go support your local independent cinemas near you as they desperately need your help as we come out of this pandemic. Or in our case, we go back into the pandemic. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. See what we look like on YouTube by searching Film Rage Podcast. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners. So please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. But last thing, which I haven't told you about, is we are on a new site called Audea, AUDEA. Search it and then find Film Rage. We got little nuggets on there for you to listen to. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please make us rage. Please, please. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.